Good morning, guys, or good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are in the world. Right, so welcome once more to our training on AI in education. And like I have previously stated, this is a training that's been hosted by the Elite Global AI Foundation, a subsidiary of the Elite Global Intelligence and Technologies. Now, this is AI in education, and today is day 3 of our training. Now, in day 1, we learned how to use AI tools to summarize our PDFs. In day 2, we learned how to use AI tools to summarize YouTube videos, turn them to text. From those texts, get a downloadable PDF version, and so on, right? Now, today we are going to learn how to learn better using artificial intelligence. And the tool that we're going to be using for this is ChatGPT. Now, it's going to be very, very prompty. I don't know if that's a word. It's going to be full of prompts. So you'd have to learn these prompts a bit of these prompts. You'd have to learn them. But thankfully, I already created a document with these prompts within it. I think it's just 2, 3, 4 prompts that you can copy. You can move them to you can save the document to your phone, and then whenever you need to learn any particular thing, all you need to do is just go to your document, copy it, change a few words, and that's all, right? So let's get started. Now you go to your ChatGPT. It's very, very easy. Just go online, search for chatgpt.com, and it will take you straight here. And let's type in a message. Like I said, I already wrote out the prompt, so I'm just gonna paste mine. Right now, let's assume you want to learn programming in Python or the Python programming language, right? And you have zero experience. You are a rookie. You are new to the entire game. Here's the prompt that we can start with. Goes, I want to let me highlight it. All right, so I want to learn programming in Python. Can you provide materials I can use in learning? Also, please use the 80-20 rule, which is the Pareto rule or Pareto principle, to determine the 20% of the learning that will yield 80% of the result, right? So this is what we're doing is that we're going to ask ChatGPT to provide materials for learning for us, and also in that material that is going to provide, we're going to use the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, to determine what 20% of the materials are going to lead us to 80% of the results in our Python programming journey. All right. So click on send, and it's going to start, answering us. Okay, so great. Learning Python is a fantastic choice. Pareto principle, most impactful parts, key topics to focus on, the 20%. Basic syntax and data types, control structures, functions, error handling, modules and packages, file handling, data structures, resources. Provided some resources online like Code Academy Python course, Coursera Python for everybody, Real Python. And I believe if I should click on these resources I provided, let's click on this one. Let's see. I believe if I should click on it, it will take us directly to that website. Here, and here we are. Coursera, a Python for Everybody specialization course created by the University of Michigan. It's nice. 1.6 million people already enrolled. So as you can see, it's provided resources for us and give us the link to these resources as well. Same with these other ones as well. Code Academy Python course, Real Python. If we click on it, it's going to take us to that website as well. And so, right, so we have our resources. For other resources, it gave us books that we can read, Automate the Boring Stuff with Python by AI Swigart. Oh, I don't think that's AI. Sorry. I'm so used to artificial intelligence that every A and I standing word I see, I call AI. I think this should be Al Sigwards, not AI Sigwards. There's a free online book, Python Crash Course by Eric Mathis, and material practice platforms. So you can come over here to Lit Code to learn about programming. You can come over to HackerRank. You can come over to Code Wars, and you can practice any programming thing you learn. So here's how it's done. It tells you what you are going to learn. It gives you resources to learn it, gives you books to read to learn it, and then here is the platform that you can practice what you've learned. Lit Code, HackerRank, Code Wars, and I can click on these tools now or on these words, and it will take me there to the website as well, right? So documentation, we have this tool as well, and you can also click on them to take you to the website. Now, it gives us practical application. Now, because I have done this before, I don't know if I did it in our previous training. So it has gone through all 4 or 5 of the prompts for me. Normally, I'm supposed to prompt for each of these specific information, but because I've done this before, it just went through my former history and was like, oh, this is what this guy is going to ask. Let me just do everything at once and give it to him, right? So it was able to know that, okay, first of all, it's going to give us the key topics to focus on, the 20% of all Python training knowledge out there that is going to yield 80% of our results in Python. And then it's moved downwards, give us resources for it. The next prompt I was going to ask was for you to give us resources, whether online tutorials, YouTube videos, books, or articles online. Any of those resources, any of the resources can find in any of those categories, to us to give us those resource links, and we would learn from there. And then the next thing I was going to ask was for you to give us practice platforms and documentation where we can practice what we're learning and save it. Then it was the next prompt after that was going to be practical applications. So I was going to ask you to give us what's the word, assignments or assessments, so that we can do so stuff like building some small projects, stuff like um practicing it and having to give a review, stuff like that, right? So practical applications. And it gave us this stuff: build a simple calculator, a to-do list application, simple game, and so on. So like I said, it's going to be in a PDF and a document, and it will be sent to the group as well, right? But because of my prior history using ChatGPT, it was able to go through the entire 4 or 5 prompts and give us everything at once, right? So contribute to open source, join Python communities. It even gave us 2 communities online, one on Reddit and one on Stack, that we can join to learn about Python. We can discuss with other people that are learning about Python, and join them to learn, ask them questions, communicate with them, build relationships. So it went through the entire glossary that you would need. 20%. This is just the 20% of things that you need to focus on to be able to make 80% of your results in any aspect of Python in programming, right? Focus on the basics, basic syntax, focus on the key topics, basic syntax, data types, control structures, functions. Go through the resources, the books, practice everything you learn in practice platforms, documentations, assessments, which he calls practical applications, join Python communities, and contribute to open source platforms. Contribute to open source projects, not platforms. Contribute to open source projects, and you can easily get this by exploring GitHub and get into other people's repos, right? And this isn't only just for programming. You can copy this prompt and change it to anything you want, anything at all. Let's see. So I wrote here programming in Python. You can turn it into um I want to learn how to bake. I want to learn how to bake. Can you provide materials I can use in learning? Also, please use the 80-20 rule to determine 20% of the learning that will yield 80% of the results. Click enter, and it would give you the exact same level of results. Right? It's going to use the Pareto principle, give you the key topics to focus on. Let's see. Let's follow it and move. So this is going to work for programming in Python. It's going to work for baking. So it's giving us online tutorials and courses now, resources. It's giving us books that we can read about baking. I never even knew books like this existed. Don't mind me, I'm not a baker. Also provided YouTube channels. You remember I talked about asking for YouTube channels as well as articles. Sadly, I don't think it gave us articles, but we have books, we have YouTube channels that we can follow to start learning about this stuff. Then there are recipes. I think these are articles. I'm not sure. I don't really want to go to the website. Then there are practical applications. Like you begin with baking cookies, muffins, bread, progress to cakes, pies, more complex pastries. Document your process. Join baking communities on Reddit and on Facebook. Experiment and practice. So it's going to work for anything in particular, anything that you are currently doing, you want to learn about. Now, this is AI in education. So anything you want to educate yourself about, just come over here, use this prompt to generate your use this prompt to generate the 20% of the um learning use this prompt to generate the 20% of learning materials that you need to yield 80% of your results. All right, guys, so that's all it's going to be for this video. The next video, it will still be on how to use artificial intelligence to learn better, but we might be talking about a different tool, or we might be talking about how to use ChatGPT differently to learn also. I want you guys to think about it and guess what it's going to be. All right, guys. So see you in the next. Bye bye for now.